Hey everyone, Sal here, back to continue my sort of series, I guess, on loot from things. This time we've got UBER Sirus in Soul Self-Found still. A while back I decided I wanted to make it a goal of mine to make an Uber capable build in Soul Self-Found for the first time. Hadn't played much since Ubers were introduced, so I figured now would be a good time to do it. Been enjoying the League a lot, been playing a ton. So I ended up making this explosive trap poison pathfinder using Original Sin, Transcendence, shenanigans, etc. And yeah, found that I was able to comfortably farm Ubers with it, so I decided to go for some of the newly introduced uniques. Specifically, I wanted to go after Oriath's End and Progenesis. Historically, they have nerfed unique flasks like those after introducing them, so if possible, my idea was to get a legacy version of them prior to the nerf so that I have them at least on standard forever as like a trophy, or if I decide to play standard again. So, as you may be able to tell based on the video title, I've killed over 100 UBER Sirus in Soul Self-Found this league. 106 for this video to be precise, chasing after the flask and, the other Uber-specific drops as well, because you can't really target one of them, you're going to get, either a mix or none or all of them, whatever. So, now that's obviously quite a lot of UBER Sirus, and if you're not familiar with the strategy I use to farm up fragments, you might be thinking that's a ton of maps. It's a little under 800 maps in total to get that many UBER Sirus, so less than, speed mapping for Eater of Worlds or Searing Exarch, which would be, like 26 to 2800 maps to farm 100 of the encounter. So if you haven't seen my last video and you're curious about that strategy, check out my loot from Conqueror maps and the Infinite Harvest strategy videos I put out. Anyways, getting into the details here. Like I said, I was after the Oriath's End Flask, and I can show a little table here of all of the drops I got and the expected amount of them I should have gotten based on community data. Again, that's community data. We don't have exact rates on things, but this is people that have done a significant amount of the boss, pooling their data, their drops, their kill count together to find an average, and those are the rates published on the wiki at the moment. So I got 43 helmets, expected 42 based on an average of 40%, 26 gloves based on a rate of 29%, expected 30.74, 10% for belts, which I got 14 of, expecting 10.6 out of those 106 kills, of course, easy math. 26 Awaken gems. This is something we know the exact rate on because the game tells you that it's a 20% chance, so expected 21.2 of those and got 26. 23 Threads of Hope. Again, the game doesn't tell you this, but it's expected to be around 20% based on community data. So another 21.2 average there. I did get one massive Thread of Hope, which the community suspects is a 2%, 1 in 50-ish. So would have expected another one in this amount of kills as well. Got one Oubliette Reliquary key, expected 1%, so pretty much right on the money there. And I got 0 Oriath's End, which is suspected to be around 1.5%. So between the massive Thread of Hope and the Oubliette Reliquary key in terms of rarity. And I got 0 of those. So I am honestly surprised at the lack of salt in this video so far because, I don't know, I'm extremely salty about it. I guess I'm not at the moment because I have another idea for a video I'm coming out with, or maybe multiple. So yeah, still kind of annoying. It's not even that unlikely to not get the drop you're after when it's that rare in this number of kills. but because it's kind of the most annoying Uber fight in the game, and I think a lot of people agree on that, it's not just because it's difficult. The difficulty is one thing, but as I've had footage rolling in the background, half the fight is you not even playing the game, really. You're just waiting for animations and such. Comparatively, I'm dry at Uber Maven on a couple of things as well, but that feels significantly better by comparison because you're getting a guaranteed drop in an elevated sextant, which again is kind of like the layered RNG, the ones you want. The sextant outcomes, that is, are quite rare, but it feels nice to be getting something each kill. And there isn't any extreme downtime in the Uber Maven fight like there is for the UBER Sirus fight. I've taken on all Ubers with this character, and I think it's safe to say that Sirus is my least favorite at the moment. I don't hate doing it. I think it's just a combination of the fight kind of annoys me at times, especially if you die, and the fact that I have killed so many and still don't have the drop that I'm after. But yeah, overall, I still enjoy doing Ubers, and the actual killing of the boss is this small portion of the time it takes to actually farm the boss. Most of the time is spent farming up fragments, doing maps, conquerors, etc. So that's it for the unique stuff. Obviously there's some stuff below that in terms of currency and divination cards. 5 Fate Worse Than Death. Those are the cards. 4 of them you get a Cortex map. Pretty much right on the money, 5% expected rate. 26 Awakener's Orbs, a little above on that. Again, suspected to be 20%. So I got the same number of those as Awakened Gems. And 6 Orbs of Dominance, those are belt rarity, so 10% suspected. So a little below there, but honestly don't know what I'd use them for at this point anyway, so I'm not too miffed about that. Anyways, let's go over the loot in a little bit more detail in-game. Back in-game here for a bit of a finer grain breakdown of things and I guess some visualization of what went on. So tons of helmets, like I said. I do have a couple of perfectly rolled values here, I believe. Yeah, there's a 21%. I saw one before. 9 to 21%, quite a range. This used to be a pretty popular helmet when Sirus was the main end-game boss, but it's fallen off a bit because it takes a little bit longer to get to him now, and they're just better helmets in the current metagame. Gloves, these are all corrupted down to rare. It is really hard to get a 5 implicit set of gloves because the odds are so heavily stacked against you. The highest I got was 3, and then I corrupted them into rare. I think it was these ones because they didn't really have any main synergy. It was this, Frenzy Charge, Temp Chains, and I'm like, you know, it's not a huge deal to brick those. I'd rather just go for more implicits. My Reliquary key I opened for Hands of the High Templar, and I'm not going to corrupt these ones because I need one in the unique tab anyways, so might as well be the shiny one. A bunch of belts. I do have a perfect, life as ES here, but no, absolute perfect ones. I picked up some jewelry. I don't know why. Just for the fun of it, I guess. I also picked up some, whatever they're called, other rare items, but I ended up vendoring a ton of them. I did keep a broadhead arrow quiver, item level 87, of course, just in case I want to use it for something, some kind of damage over time build. And then you may have noticed this concentrated effect down here. There should be an Awaken increased AoE. Yeah, this is the explosive trap character, Saboteur, I farm the Conqueror maps and the Conquerors themselves with, so yeah, here's the spread of Awakened Gems. On the left side here are all of the, I guess, less good ones. Pretty much anything with +1 at the 5th level is pretty good in my opinion. Bunch of Awaken Add Lightning. I have an insane number of Awaken Add Lightnings from this and other things. Penetration, all that, not really super good. Awaken Increase AoE was pretty good for this build. I basically never swap in Conk Effect anymore, which is why I had it down here just to remind myself of that. Up at the top here, the big money Awaken skill gems, support gems. Cast on crit, that's not really big money, but if I'm going to play cast and crit, I'll be happy to have that. Awaken Spell Echo is worth a decent amount, and then Awaken GMP and Spell Cascade are worth an obscene amount. So, pretty excited to have those, especially Spell Cascade. I was kind of hoping to get another one. It's obscenely rare to get a specific Awaken support gem, so it's not really something I hope for. Like way rarer than the Flask or any of the Uber Uniques, of course, because it's 20%, and then you have to roll within the subset of Awaken support gems there are after you hit that 20%. So pretty rare to get a specific one when there are dozens of them. Anyways, getting one is pretty nice. I don't know if I'll play a Reap character. I don't think I'm going to make any new characters for the remainder of the league, but who knows, maybe in Standard. If I get a second one, I can use it in my Impending Doom Occultist build, if I do some more map farming or something. Over on the right here, we have small up to massive Threads of Hope. So all these down here are small, medium, large, very large. If you're unaware, I haven't actually tested this, but I guess I can test it now for the video since I wanted to roll this anyways. Yeah, okay. So actually, if you hover this, does it say? Yes, okay. Good enough confirmation there then. So if you hold Alt on this, you can see only affects passives in very large ring. Parentheses, it rolls between small ring and very large. So these can all roll between each other. This one does not say that. It'll always stay massive. You can divine the resistances no problem if that's a concern. There are some pretty good spots for a massive Thread of Hope, so I might try to make a build with that at some point in the future, but who knows, again, probably not going to do anything for the remainder of this league, but may end up playing Standard a bit next league. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Fate Worse Than Death, this is a pretty low drop rate, as I said, about 5% suspected, and I think I ended up getting a lot more of them farming the Conquerors themselves than UBER Sirus. So this is just kind of a little bonus thing, really. I do have quite a number of Cortexes at this point from farming the Guardians or the Conquerors rather, and UBER Sirus himself. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's the spread of loot you could expect from UBER Sirus if you do a bunch. I still think they're going to nerf that Flask. I have a couple of suspected nerfs that I think they'll do that I'm going to put a video out on, probably pretty soon. So that definitely makes my list and is something I want to get a legacy version of, if possible. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you found this educational or entertaining in some way. If you did, would much appreciate a like, comment, or subscription. I'll see you next time. Peace.